Hello, happy holidays, and Merry Christmas from Canberra Arts. We're here at the stage door one last time for 2025 as we head into the tail end of that holiday season at our local arts venues. Like I said, there is so much happening, and it's been a great fortune to say that a lot of these events are actually full to capacity as I say this. So I'm gonna list them now, just so you're aware what's going on, and then we'll get into talking with our guest, Noah Hamilton. So the Rotary Arts Centre has a wealth of events coming up, most of which feature Noah right now. There's the Hamiltones on December 19th, and as of the time that we are taping this, can't say that for airtime, there are a couple of tickets left for that. So that might be your only shot to get them, but like I said, by the time we air in a couple hours from filming, I don't know. But there are a couple left as of me just checking. On December 20th, the following day, Noah's doing Christmas with the Crooners. That one is sold out, unfortunately. So unless there's a no-show, you're a no-show too, because you got to stay home. And then December 21st, not featuring Noah, but a great family-friendly free event in the afternoon, the 1966 animated How the Grinch Stole Christmas. So a great Christmas tradition to see at the Rotary Arts Centre. And then I will say, you know, Christmas, the season does continue. So on Old Christmas Day at the Rotary Arts Centre, working with Hard Ticket Theatre to present ghost stories. A great tradition here in Corner Brook, all written by people on the west coast of Newfoundland, ghost stories on Old Christmas Day, which is actually a tradition. If you listen to Most Wonderful Time of the Year, it actually mentions that. Christmas was a time to tell those scary stories around the fire. And then, featuring Noah again, January 9th at the Rotary Arts Centre, there's a great fundraiser for CB Nui called Tuned In. And that's actually Noah with his mom, which is going to be really exciting. We'll talk a little bit about that one because that one there's still lots of tickets available. Won't be after this, I'd say, but it's going to be a really great event. And before we dive all the way into the episode, the other thing coming up is on December 20th, Die Hard, Christmas pantomime from Open Door Theatre. That's going to be a lot of fun. That's at the Arts and Culture Centre. You know, pantomime is a great Christmas tradition from the UK, and this one is, of course, based on the Christmas or not Christmas movie. Lots of debates around that. Die Hard. But set here in Corner Brook and the Richard Squires building being the Nakatomi Plaza. And, you know, I think the work that Adam and Allison do with Open Door Theatre is going to be a lot of fun to see that. And there are tickets available for that show on the 20th. Whew. So, a lot of sold out things and a lot of things to go to, but 'tis the season. So Noah, welcome home and welcome to the stage door. Really glad to have you here.
Thanks so much, Ian. I'm so happy to be here. This is going to be fun.
It's great. So first, you know, what we like to talk about on the stage door is we have an opportunity, because it's just about the arts, we get to do a little bit of a deeper dive than most talk shows, and we start at the very beginning. So where did your passion for music and the arts all begin for you?
It really feels like that was always part of my life. Dad was playing on a stage or singing us a lullaby ever since I could remember, honestly. And I definitely wanted to hop up on that stage with him, you know,
I love
as long as I could remember. Yeah, I think all of my siblings agree that he's incredibly influential in our love for music, whether it's a genetic or a raising us situation. He just instilled that passion and that creativity, that openness in us. Yeah, I feel like there's also such a tremendous shout out I have to give to my former piano teacher, Cindy. She put a lot of the love for the theory of music and the technical training, as well as the openness to experiment with jazz music and improvisation. And yeah, I have so much to thank for my parents for putting me in those lessons, and for Cindy for being so encouraging and guiding in that way.
Yeah, well, that's really wonderful. I think it's so important to recognize that, and it captures what pretty well every artist says on this show, is that, you know, their time at home and their teachers of the arts are what influence them to be able to do it. And it only takes one. It takes one person. It takes one moment And I think that's the gift that we all can share in is you know, in Newfoundland and Labrador, the arts is in every home. You know, how many homes still have upright pianos in them that people gather around and share a moment of music? Or how many people have guitars? And same thing, you know, it's just like, oh, the guitar's out, time to sing a couple songs on the old guitar. You know,
Totally.
I think it's a wonderful thing that we have so ingrained in this place. And of course, Kev Hamilton, your dad, is a fantastic musician. I love working with Kev. Of course, he's in the Hamiltones. He's the founder of the Hamiltones. In many
in all the ways. Yeah, in multiple
way
meanings.
You can be a founder. He's the patriarch. It's the only band with a founding patriarch.
So only one I could think of. It's amazing. Oh, he's gonna love that.
So I think, yeah, that's a great title there. But I think, you know, it's just so amazing that the Hamiltones continue, because, you know, all of you are in different places now, so it is very much a seasonal event. I know this summer you weren't quite sure whether a Christmas Hamilton show would be possible, just with everyone in different pockets. So you get a solid, you know, day of rehearsal with everybody present, and then you do the show. So, you know, saying that, what is it like to perform with your family in that way? You know, your younger siblings, your dad. Yeah, it must bring a lot of great moments in the rehearsal room and on the stage.
Very much so. You know, it's funny. I feel there's a very special feeling that comes with any performance. And of course, on the flip side, there's also pressures and this desire, of course, to just bring the very best you can to an audience, because they're going to give you a special feeling back, and you want to make sure you're giving them something polished, but also, you know, being in that moment and just enjoying it. And I would say that with the family, there is this uniquely special feeling that we are doing something that is a tradition we've been passed down from the man who is there on the stage with us. And all the pressures that I perhaps feel if I'm on a stage by myself or in a grander production that I've done, other things I've done in the past, I feel this strong sense of family, like with them on that stage, and it feels like it's deeper than the show itself. You know, we'll be rehearsing and putting music together as you would any other production, but it will feel like being around like a couch in the living room or the dining table in the kitchen. It will have this feeling that, like when we're always together, that there's just this feeling of being grounded and just being so lucky to get to do something together. Yeah. Especially as we've grown older, and now my sister's off to university and my brother as well. I'm out in Toronto. This year especially has just felt incredibly meaningful. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, you know, having worked with Kev this summer, and of course I know that your family had a tough summer. It was a summer with a bit of loss. So it's a homecoming in many ways, and Christmas can bring challenges to those that have lost someone. So I think to share that in music, there's no better way. You know, there's no better way to commemorate and to share and to love than through music. It's just such a unique art form, you know, that you certainly are a great example of someone who I think lives through music, you know, not only as a writer, but as a player too, and sharing that. I know with our rehearsals for the gala, which I didn't mention, but it's also sold out on December 22nd, our big fundraiser with Canberra Arts has been another type of homecoming, you know, to be able to be in that space and where part of your musical education journey happened. So what has that been like to kind of return to, you know, work with some of the faculty like myself who worked with you when you were in those formative years? What's that been like to be in that room? And of course, Anna Barrett's coming home from New York. So again, it's all connecting. That's Christmas. That's the joy of the holidays, is you connect with people you haven't seen in years and you truly get to connect. You know, it's pretty cool.
No, it really is.
Geeking out over Christmas here.
No, that's the thing. This is we were talking about this in rehearsal for the gala. It's a moment outside of everything else that happened in the year. You get 11 months of ups and downs, and surely there can be a lot of heavy emotions during the holidays as well. Thinking of people who perhaps aren't with us anymore, and just there's a hustle and a bustle. But I always feel that time kind of stops and you get these moments of reconnection, these moments of togetherness. Yeah, and I definitely feel that getting ready for this gala. As much as I have had people who might have been particularly pivotal in my earliest years of music, I have to shout out you, Ian. I have to shout out all of the folks at Canberra Arts who also instilled in me this deep love for performing and for a connection to your art and your community.
Yeah.
No, because it was truly formative. It was truly formative.
It's wonderful to hear. And Canberra Arts is there for the community. That's an important thing as a charitable not-for-profit in the community. The community has ownership of us in a way. We want that space. This is a fundraiser, but there are many events that are free. There are many things that are open to folks. Our Graham Academy Young Artist Bursary is a great example of that. That ensures that no child is left behind when it comes to arts education. Our choirs are free. Those are our way of giving back. So folks, if you're interested in any of that, go on to canberraarts.ca or grahamacademy.ca and check out some of the offerings, because we'd love to welcome you into our community, and we want to keep expanding the ways that we can give outreach. And I will say, because we're in that fundraising time of year, we are a charitable organization, so we would appreciate any donation that can be given at any time. It makes a difference. It lets us give back more. And then once the mortgage is paid off on that building, man, we'll be able to give back. That's the big looming thing every winter, having that wonderful former convent, which is a beautiful performance venue and a beautiful place for our education. It's a lot to also maintain that.
Of course. Yeah.
And I will say, before we dive into a little bit more on NOAA, that one of our big community outreach projects is the prom. Of course, we talked to Edmund McLean, who is directing that, and will be here in January. So if you're looking for something to do after the Christmas lights come down in those cold and dreary gray months, the prom is a bright, glitzy, modern musical celebrating who we are, celebrating love, celebrating all of that in a really heartfelt story. It's fun, it's a little cheesy, with a great band and a great story that we can take home and take into the new year. The show is March 5th to 7th, and if you want to join the ensemble, all you have to do is show up. The auditions have happened, the casting has happened, but the ensemble is where a show lives. And we would love to have you as part of it. So if you're looking for something to do January to February, let us know. The prom 2025 at canberraarts.ca is where you send an email, and we'd love to have you on the team. But enough about that coming up. We also have to talk about what you've been up to. You've been in Toronto. It's been an exciting time. Give us a little sneak peek of some of the exciting things that you've been able to do that you're able to share.
Yeah, no, of course. Yeah, it's been a big period of change and excitement. I moved back in September of last year, and I didn't know what form my life or my career was going to take. I just knew that with everything I had learned and in this community and the love, the support that I felt, that I could go out into the world and try to see what music could do for me and what I could do for the music scene in a bigger center. And I've done a lot of studio work, which has been a tremendous, new, exciting adventure.
Yeah,
so that will be getting to work with artists who are from all around the world, all sorts of different genres. I mean, here in Newfoundland, we have a beautiful history of folk music and of the stories that come with songs, the stories behind them, the stories within the lyrics. And I really feel this special connection back home whenever I'm in a room with folks made Punjabi music, rap music,
Amazing.
pop music, things
it.
that might not get made here on the West
Yeah.
Coast, as you know, as we might think of when we think of music from Newfoundland. But I think of folks like, it's funny, you might not can make this connection with the genres I mentioned, but think of Sherman, Downey,
Yeah.
think of the Once, I think of these incredible, I mean, Vince Coles, folks from our Buddy What's his name, you know, Kevin Blackmore now, folks who are incredible entertainers, but have such a deep reverence for the story behind a song. I feel like I've taken that from home, that love for it, that I saw people doing, and people preserving that within the songwriting, and I try to bring that over to Canada, as people say.
Well, I think it's so
The mainland.
important, you know, that we get to have that, and you know, thanks to spaces like 62 Broadway, we're getting a little bit more of that music recorded here. You know, they released a world music from people who have moved to Newfoundland. You know, they have Jingjia, who's just an incredible, incredible musician. And across the province, Kubasonics. Canberra Arts has brought Kubasonics in a couple times. Ukrainian speed folk, you know, just an amazing genre and an amazing
live
evening.
show. Yeah.
And I think it's so great that we're in a place that we can foster that much music. You know, I always say per capita, Newfoundland and Labrador has more published literature, has more presented plays, has more recorded music, I think, than anywhere. When you look at our population size compared to the releases, I really think we're doing pretty good per capita in terms of that, you know? I think it's just amazing. And to hear, you know, you're in Toronto, you're working with a variety of different artists, but you take home with you and you identify, wow, the story here is great, story behind this moment. And that is, I think that is Newfoundland Labrador, because it is a choice. It's a choice to live anywhere. But, you know, I think everyone who is here in some way has often made a choice to stay, or a choice to come back, or a choice to return home every now and then. And that's great. And that's Newfoundland. You know, there's that whole joke, you know, you can always tell the Newfoundlanders in heaven because they're the only ones who want to go back. And you know, it
so
makes
true.
sense, you know, people like that who are like, man, you love it here. Like,
Absolutely. Boomerang, genuinely. Yeah.
And I think
always want to
speaking
come
of
back.
home, of course, Tuned In is very much a piece about home. You know, it's something that you made with your mom.
Yes.
So give us a little bit about that. You know, it's January 9th at the Rotary Arts Centre. Still lots of tickets available. I haven't bought mine yet, so don't go online until I get mine. But after that, free game. So yeah, tell us a little bit about Tuned In.
Yeah, this is a really special project for myself and for Mom. Mom approached me when the theme of this year's CB Nui was announced, and that was Bloom. Mom and I have always had an appreciation for the CB Nui project. I mean, has it been over 10 years now?
So good. Yeah, I think so.
It's
Which is just amazing.
And this is what we were just talking about. What we have here in Newfoundland, like talking about per capita, I think it's even like it's above and beyond what folks might expect if they think of the size perhaps, or whatever preconceived notions they might have of Newfoundland looking from the outside perspective. We really have everything here in terms of the arts, and I think CBNUI is such a pivotal part of this community for me when I think of just the incredible amount of like multimedia and projects you might not see on a stage or in a gallery that get to happen because of this incredible street festival, you know. And so I was very excited when Mom wanted to do a project.
That's amazing.
I was so.
She's lived around the arts for so long.
Absolutely.
But, you know, also has an appreciation for history. I know one of her first jobs was at the historic train site.
That's right.
You know, it's a pretty amazing thing, you know, but she's talked to everyone who's come to Quarter Brook to present something. So it's so exciting when someone, you know, relatively on the outside of arts, journalism and the arts definitely have some crossover, but engages in that way. So I can only imagine. It's part of what excited me was that both of you were doing this together.
Absolutely, and she I would describe her as as, of course, a journalist and someone who has brought the stories of the community to the radio and to social media, and has been someone who is sharing everything that is incredible about this province. But she's also a writer, you know, and she talks about, maybe I shouldn't say this, but she talks about perhaps when she retires, writing a book, you know, sharing her story. And I think this is an incredible thing that I feel grateful to get to do with her, which is sharing a story that's very important to us and our family through this performance, this multimedia production we've put together. Tuned In is very much a combination of the love I have for the arts and for music, supporting Mom's deep love for her journalism, and our family history. We've done something a little perhaps unexpected with this, and we're talking about some very important things in this production. There's a lot of talk about intergenerational mental health, talking about how we all come from different circumstances we might not know on the surface level, talking to someone at the grocery store, or even people we know very well in our community. And we thought it was very, very meaningful to us to talk about how mental health has been something that has been unspoken in previous generations, something that has been brushed away, and we wanted to be able to talk about that a bit at length, and to do it in a medium that is theatrical and contains the love of radio and the love of music. I could not be more excited to get to do something like this with my mom.
Yeah. No, and I'm very excited to see it. I think it's going to be a very exciting event, and it's pretty well the only chance, unless you scoop up those last Hamilton's tickets, the only chance to see Noah in a soft seater. Now there's lots of bar shows too, so keep an ear to the ground. I'm sure you'll be able to spot Noah around while he's home for the holidays till mid-January. So I was joking with Noah that he's the only person who's home for 3 weeks and works for 4 while he's here. You know, 2 show days all over the place. But we are so thankful that you keep coming home, because you know people clearly appreciate it. They're coming out, and I know that you love it too. So you know, like I said, as of right now, which is not when the episode airs, Hamilton's on December 19th. There's a couple tickets left. Christmas with the Crooners is sold out. But the next day, December 21st, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, 1966 classic. Great event to take the family to the Rotary Arts Centre. And then in January 6th, Ghost Stories of Old Christmas Day from Hard Ticket and the folks at the Rack. And January 9th is that fundraiser for CB Nui, Tuned In. And of course, the Arts and Culture Centre, December 20th, Die Ard, Christmas Panto. That's going to be a lot of fun. And like I said, if you're looking for something to do January and February in those gray, dreary months, rehearse for a show. Join the cast, join the ensemble of The Prom, directed by Edmund McLean and presented by Canberra Arts, March 5th to 7th. If you're not interested in joining the ensemble, get your tickets now. We'd love to see you in the audience. Great Christmas gift to get those tickets. Great Christmas gift, you know? And of course, we would love to have you on our list of donors as we head into the new year. I do want to give a big thank you to our gold sponsors on our last episode of 2025. A tremendous thanks goes to Harbour Financial and White & George Accounting. They really make all of what we do at Canberra Arts possible. And as do you, everyone watching the stage door, the folks at Rogers and Gian. It's such a community that this is all possible to happen, and everyone who comes to every event from any of these groups makes what we do as Canberra Arts, as any arts organization in this community, possible. So thank you for that. Noah's going to ring us out into the holidays and into the new year with some music. And I will say, stay tuned through the holidays. You'll catch glimpses of Canberra Arts Project Mummer's Journey from the early 2020s, which we are going into the late 2020s, through the holiday season. A great variety of music videos from artists that you know and love, or maybe some artists that you don't know and will love after you see the video. So Noah, we'll have you play us into the holidays now. Thanks for tuning in, and see you next year.
Melikilikimaka is a thing to say on a bright Hawaiian Christmas day. That's the island greeting that we send to you from the land where palm trees sway. Here we know that Christmas will be green and bright, the sun to shine by day and all the stars at night. Melikilikimaka is Hawaii's way to say Merry Christmas to you. You know it's the thing to say on a bright Hawaiian Christmas day. And that's the island greeting that we send to you from the land where palm trees sway. Here we know that Christmas will be green and bright, the sun to shine by day and all the stars at night. Oh, Melikilikimaka is Hawaii's way to say Merry Christmas.